Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Guess the WN8, where my lovely viewers submit games and I have to guess their stats based entirely on their gameplay. If I get within 250 WN8 or 2% of their wins, then I win. And I don't have to give them gold. If I don't, then I do. This is a paid submission, so if you're interested in guaranteeing that your only play appears in an episode, you can use the paid link in the description. You can also check the rules in the description to find out about how to submit for free and to be able to submit for the other series, higher or lower, as well if you're interested in that. Now we have two malbrushes, the wall breaker that breaks no walls and is probably one of the greatest examples of Wargaming's advertising department. Well, to be frank, spouting a load of utter bollocks. I will quote, this is a direct quote from the advertising for the Malbrusher. It goes, "Be unstoppable, the Malbrusher," which is, I don't believe legal, because, and this may come as a shock to all of you, the Malbrusher actually is stoppable. But they did get one thing right. Earlier in the video they said, it blocks damage, but deals it too. Which is correct. It can do both of those things. So, I guess it balances out, you know? We got a 440 alpha damage gun with 220 standard pen. Oh, a bit of R function came on. I saw that. You can't get away with using the R function. That's my thing. I did videos on that. And then people moaned at me that you're not meant to drive around the corner side on to a ship arm. Not realizing that that was just an example, not a suggestion of how to use it. YouTube comments are weird, chat. I don't recommend them. I'm just kidding. Comment on the YouTube video. It helps the algorithm. But yeah, we got 260 with APCR, 65 with HE, and it goes up to 630 alpha damage, which is quite remarkable. Why are we so mad about that Malbrusher? Is it just, am I just a paragon of virtue and I don't like false advertising? Well, yes, of course. But, it's shit. But it's shit in a way that offends me, because the thing about the Malbrusher is, anyone in chat, what year? You get a time machine and you can take one thing back. You can't take, like, liquid metal alloy under polymer skin or whatever the heck. You can't take any of that. What you can take is a Malbrusher. Alright, back in time. Where do you put the Malbrusher in the evolution of water tanks to make it a good, balanced premium tank? Because it can be one. 1918, 2013. Like, if this came out and it was facing on the regular IS-6s, 112s, legitimately, I think it's a good, balanced tank. Also, there's a shit pack out there and we're very scared. Why do I think that? Because this thing is full of weak spots. Look, on paper, very nice, 230 on the front of the turret. Was it 150 on the side of the turret? Doesn't matter, we'll get to that in a moment. 100mm on the rear, and then it's like, what, 200? What is it on the front? Let's have a look, shall we? Because paper values really don't tell the story here. 180, 130, 100. Now, let me get into, why am I doing this in-game? Let's look at the models, shall we? Models are fun. Oh, okay, so here's a tier 8 super heavy that weighs 170 odd tons. Let's start off with the lower plate. The place that you expect to be a weak spot, right? Okay, 200. It's not, I mean, you know, it has to have a weak spot somewhere. Give it 200 on the lower plate. Okay, solid, fine. 100mm on the ass. And then you look at the upper plate, and you realize that this is one of probably the only tank in 5 years that, at the time when it was released, actually had like a weak spot on a machine gun port on the upper plate. And not just a weak spot. You remember I said 200 was a legitimate weak spot for a super heavy at tier 8? Yeah, this one's 140 on the upper plate. So that's fun. Also, it has a giant feck off cupola. But I mean, hell, we've seen Defenders, we've seen BZ-176s, right, out the tier. What do we think the cupola is? What would you say a cupola? Like, let's look at a VK show, let's have fun, let's learn, let's coach ourselves. Here's a tech tree tank chat. VK 101p, right? Even the ghosts are mad at my pressure. Here you go, let's have a look. 220 millimeters at T8. Now look, I'm being a little unfair. VK 101p, one of the best cupolas at the tier. Like, I'm being a little unreasonable. But it's a German super heavy. It's not an insanely unfair comparison, but it kind of is, because this cupola is 150 millimeters. I can pen it with a good roll in a Comet. And it's 150 from everywhere. Like, it's not, like, even if you hit, like, on the side skirts, you get, like, 160. And maybe you can bounce if you're trying really hard to miss. VK cupola. Also, if you thought we were done, we're not done, because, you know, this tank is a tier 8, it doesn't have preferential matchmaking. Wargaming were done with that, so they thought, you know what else this needs? It needs 230 millimeters of frontal turret armor. You know what? That's fine for a tier 8 super heavy. Maybe you know, it can angle it like an E100. You know, get up to 250 and the side being 280. Okay, it's got a little something. It's gonna fight tier 9s. It's gonna fight tier 10s. So we're thinking of those circumstances where it's facing sort of 260. AP, maybe higher on the APCR shelves if it's an IS-7 or something. You might expect maybe some part of this tank is going to bounce it. Maybe he hits the upper plate. Yay, we bounce. Maybe he shoots the gun mantlet. Oh, wait! If he does that, it's exactly the same thickness as the rest of the turret, with literally zero armor behind it. So if you have over 230 millimeters of pen and you see a VK16801P or the Malbrecher, you can literally just shoot it straight in the gun mantlet. And you will pen more often than not. And this is why it's a struggle to find a time period where you can dump this thing and have it be balanced. We gotta go way back. We gotta go back to the days where tier 8 was infested by IS-6s, 112s, maybe you get the occasional WZ-111 by some guy who's feeling special and wants the additional 5 kph top speed, because, oh my word, a heavy tank that goes at 50 kph ain't that remarkable. Amazing! There's so few of those, and the ones that do are the 5100, and they're really hard to play, and we don't want to play it because we're bad at the game. Oh my, okay, another 440 alpha damage coming screaming into the shite pack, who's probably going to kill this Chrysler in 3-2-1, and he's dead. Okay. Now we really need to pick up this shit pack. Okay, good, valuable kill, right. And our platoon has been mildly decimated. And at this point, falling back is not really an option. You just kind of gotta go forward here and try and win. Oh, and that's almost free. 0.4 accuracy, by the way. 2.7 seconds of aim time. Now against the Skoda, you want to pressure. Go forward, forward, forward. Don't let him exchange shots at his pace. Right? Okay, 1. Pressure. Mitigate the shot if you can. But you gotta go. You don't have the luxury of time. Okay, we're gonna repair. Wonderful. Let's go. Lower plate shot. What? No, mate. No, let's keep going. Come on. Kill the autoloader before it when you loads. He's giving you the opportunity to do that. Don't let him use this time. Oh, that is unfortunate. Aiming at the right place. Come on, we gotta go. We can't sit here. Actually, maybe we can, but I mean, they got arty. 8 degrees of gun depression, by the way, on the Malshin. Why are we having a Cupola fight in a Malshin? In a VK-168. Not a lot of circumstances that favour you in this tank. Cupola fighting is even less of one. Okay, guard is... Oh, you wanted to trade the shot there. I don't know why you fell back. We talk about this a lot. It's engagement dictation. It's the exact same thing we were talking about with the Skoda, right? It was a good shot, yes, but I think you should have gone forward and secured the lower plate shot, or just secured the kill, right? At that point, worst you take is just one shot of damage, if you pressure immediately. And you didn't have any threat from out here, really, so I would have pushed back. This is about engagement dictation. It's similar to... Oh, how can I conceptualize this? There's got to be a better way than I'm about to, but... Let's use an example of... Let's be a guard, shall we? An STG. We're a guard with 390 alpha damage. We have 460 health. We're sat in a bush, right, or on a hill, or somewhere where we can poke up and get a shot, but if we do, we're exposed to the enemy. Let's say that an STB-1 tier 10 Japanese medium tank bearing down upon us, and he's got 2,000 hit points. Are we scared to poke that? Yes, but we do it. Because we know if he gets close to us, if he's allowed to get in, we're dead. We die. We lose our advantage. The only winning scenario in that hypothetical is to trade the damage at distance. While the STB is moving, while his gun's blooming out a little bit, right? That's when we expose to him. That's when we poke up on the top and say, okay, I'm going to shoot you now. You have two choices. You stop, and that means you get to me slower. You get to your advantage state slower. Or you shoot on the move. And you have a better chance of missing. It's exactly the concept that is going on here. The advantage state for the guard is getting around, right? Is getting close to this mad Asher, getting around, and making it really difficult. So trading the damage, going forward, saying, yes, I might take a shot in the lower plate, but I'm going to make you a one shot before you get in. I'm going to potentially kill you before you get in, right? And I'm going to give you that choice of stopping, which means I have more time to reload before you get here, or firing on the move and potentially having a lesser chance of penning. Okay, we do get the high roll. Cool. Expect an arty hit very shortly. Let's go and go light up your booty. Bingo, bango, bongo. Okay, right. Let's network with the team. What is the concept that I coined in my last video? And Tommy, you can tell me if you like this. I really like this as kind of a concept guide for new players, or a way for new players to appreciate mutually supported positions. Right? Listen to this. If you have 4 tanks, make a square. If you have 3 tanks, make a triangle. If you have 2 tanks, make a line. Isn't that good? It's a good way to understand mutually supported positions. Alright, we got 3 tanks here. So there to there to there would be the concept of a triangle. This supports this, supports this, supports this. Alright? It's an easy way of understanding how you can implement. You just count the number of tanks and you go, okay, 4 tanks, let's make a square with our positions. If we've got 3 tanks, okay, let's make a triangle. Boop, 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 boop. We have 2 tanks, okay, let's make a line. Let's make sure these 2 points, these 2 positions intersect. Yeah, I'd just call everything triangle of death. Something rolls off the tongue, I'd say. Alright, and now we got a stealthy E25 waiting there, defending that cap. Very helpful by him, and we're just hunting some piggies. Oh, and the E25 is AFK apparently, and Artie does get a hit out. Fair play to him, about all he could do. Right. And do you sit in the cap? We know this guy is not AFK. Honestly, you lose this game if this guy is in any way competent. 8 kills here in an Arbiter. You really do not have any authority to dictate the combat here. About the only play you can make is to sit in the cap. It's not a great play, and against a good player, you will most likely lose. There are myriad options for this guy right now. He can come up into this foliage here, get some vision, get a shot, double bush you, or he can play at distance, scout out in the middle, sort of go along here within sort of view range of the cap and try and get some information. You can go up on these hills here. Once he sees that you're on 500 health, all he really has to do is yellow in. Even with an E25 in play, he can use you as cover once he gets in close. So, I mean, it's... Oh... Yeah, the Malbanash, we mentioned this earlier, or at least I took note of it earlier. 400 meters of view range. The E25 is apparently AFK vanilla. 400 meters, now I don't like that we're moving here. There's no real value provided to us by moving. Unless our sixth sense goes off, of course, in which case we can wiggle and wobble a little bit. Apologies for the canine contribution, chat. We have dogs! Bush on the front left would be a better spot to sit in. I don't know. I like at the back here because it is more proximal to the edge of the map. I understand that you see more from here, but in the worst case scenario, if you're there and this guy pops up there, I mean, like, at least if you're in this position, you can reverse into the corner of the map if worst comes to worst and he gets in close, right? That would be the objective. I wouldn't put much stock in, okay, I'm going to outspot this medium tank. Right? Because if you are playing against a good player, which you should always kind of assume that you are, you want to assume that he's going to do something competent. He's going to get an angle and he's going to get in close. These damn dogs! And... what the heck was... I gotta admit, I thought that was a T-44-100, not a T-34-100. I've only just realised that. So that reduces the threat quite significantly. But still, GG, I guess. What do we think, chat? What do we think? There were a couple of, in my opinion, standard gameplay missteps, just situations that could be optimized, aggression on a reloading Skoda when you're not threatened needed to be like 10 and it was at a 7. I do like the fact that we continued to push. We took out the T-29, we took out the Skoda, and then we turned and dealt with the flank behind us. That's good. I feel like it's sort of, I'm getting 53, 54 is my estimate. Like, not pouncing on damage, especially off that Skoda. Like, you just go forward, get the clean shot. Right? I'll go with 53%. 53 point, I'll note down the exact number so that YouTube can accuse me of cheating if I get it completely right. So I'll go 53.46. This guy's playing a Malbasher in a platoon, and he probably didn't get dared to by Twitch chat. I'll go 53.11. 1,700 and... no, 1,000... someone in chat saying 48%, really? So our estimate, 53.11 and 1,685 WN8. Wow, really? I mean, I was in the middle of the overall and recent. Why did I think he was better than 50%? I mean, there wasn't an awful lot of reasoning went into it, to be honest. It was a fairly simple game. Alright, GG, I owe this man some gold. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to replay number 2. We've got a platoon of 3 AMX ELCs on Rakonovka, full premium loaded, 150 pen. Used to be, I can't believe I'm saying this, used to be on the AMX ELC, or ELC AMX as it was back in the day, 248. 248 millimeters of pen. Now we got 120 with standard, we got 150 with premium. Still the same 240 alpha damage, but all I miss today is doesn't look like we're working with a turbo on this tank. Top speed is 60. That's what we're seeing here. We do have quite magnificent camo. Are we going to the high? Looks like we are. Oh, not quite all the way to E1. Ooh, and spotting another... Wow, okay. Either a very good player or a very bad player. There's kind of no in-between there. Wow, okay. I'm starting to feel like this guy is quite good. Quite good indeed. We'll see. We're double bushing. That's unfortunate. It's good stuff so far. And now we're just gonna wait here. There's no way this guy gets to you. There's no way he gets to Proxy. Why are you panicking? Risky. I would have... See, this... Me and Tommy were talking about this yesterday. Like, I would have bet on my team there. I just would have stayed there and said, okay, team, you've got this, right? And then I bet I would have fucking got proxied and died, dude. This is why I'm bad. Okay. Yeah, certainly aware of bush mechanics. Does get him a good few points in my book. And based on the fact that, I mean, we've not seen a Covenanter, but we can probably be taking these shots. We're not certain, so we're moving, but yeah. Yep, now we know that this is 3 shooting. 0.38 accuracy, by the way. 0.38 accuracy. And a 2.7 second aim time, but hell, we got permission to sit here. And it looks like we're almost module targets in here. Aiming towards the back. Going for those fuel tanks. That engine. I like it. Okay, so at this point, I think you can basically push the 1-2 line. Your heavies are going. You got 3 ELCs. What it might even be worth doing right now. Certainly in old patch ELC, and by old patch I mean like 9.17, whatever it was, when it had 170 base, 248 premium. What you're doing right now is you just go straight up, like edge of the map, you come over and you just triple tap the ho knee, and then run down. Because this thing was so much more mobile. Nowadays, I mean, it will still work, to be clear, but you might get an unlucky track or some bollocks. Should be unfortunate. But yeah, the reason I want to take out that Ho-Ri is because once the Ho-Ri dies, this entire flank just crumbles. Like, he's essentially the lodestone, and his position stops well, supposedly it stops, doesn't look like it is, but it certainly inhibits the ability of people like that KV1, KV1SA to play the aggro play along the 2 line because they're going up below a Ho-Ni, and if they turn to shoot at him, they should get shots in the side of the turret from someone back there, maybe a Panzer IV F2, but it doesn't seem that the enemy have a lot of presence there. And honestly, I was thinking this guy was very good, but at this point, the passivity, given that we're losing so heavily on this side, the passivity that we're playing with against what? 1 Ho-Ni and potentially a Panzer IV. Well, that's unlikely given the lack of damage taken by this KV1. The passivity of all these guys is starting to make me feel like maybe he's not as good as certainly Tommy in chat is thinking. Okay, there we go, mate. A little late. Little late, but come on, we got 3 ELCs. We're facing 2 tanks in bushy land. Let's get stuck in, my dude. Let's bring back the glory days of the ELC. Come on, why are we passive here? Okay, now we've got to send someone to have presence and watch over base. So it looks like this guy's been nominated for that job. That's fine right now. We can. This is legitimately good gameplay. But the other 2, unless they're okay, that's... Ooh, that's a valuable kill to be going after that AMX, and it looks like the other 2 are coming in to establish some sort of presence, but this is a firing line. Oh, and look at this prioritization. The only threat to the firing line of triple ELCs, the only legitimate threat is this AMX, which is exactly what this guy's focusing on. I didn't see if he has HE loaded. That would be very interesting. But these guys don't get spotted by anything other than this guy, which is why this player is focusing in. Gorgeous stuff. Okay, and at this point, you just got to commit, really. Nice HE pen. Very nice HE pen. Very good target prioritization. And now the enemy have no hope of pushing this land. This ELC firing line is ridiculous. Let's remind ourselves that the base reload of the ELC, and you can fire here, honestly, like... Is that a Panzer 5.4? Oh my word, seeing a Panzer 5.4 get torn apart by ELCs would be very satisfying. Most overpowered tank tier for tier in the entire game right there. But yeah, this is ideal for the... You could not ask for a better circumstance for 3 ELCs, my word. Target shot there with APCRs viable on the Panzer 5.4. Target is the weaker portion when compared to the hull, at least. Now we're switching up the bush that we poke in. 360 meters of base view range on the ELC, which makes it feel a bit... tiny bit limited. Looks like this guy's running optics, certainly. And that's a valuable kill, yes, indeed. Over 1,000 meters per second shell velocity on the AMX ELC with the premium shells that are loaded here in this 90mm gun. We are just sniping about. At this point, 3A accuracy feels rather good. It's making me wonder if this player is potentially using improved aiming. Like, what would be the setup? He's not got turbo. Hey, Tommy, I'd be curious as to your thoughts on that. What is the setup on the ELC? Because gun ammo? I mean, 14-second base reload. Let's be clear, gun ammo gets you a lot. Like, the higher the base number, the more valuable the glamour. Which is why it's funny that I don't take a glamour in the ship bun, because ship bun, you're never passing DPM. And I feel like, oddly enough, the ship bun kind of has a similar feel to the ELC, in that, in the ELC, you're very rarely pressed, oh, I need to reload, you know? Because you're often sniping like this at distance. You have the ability to, okay, now I'm reloaded, I'm going to poke up and I'm going to get the shot, right? So I don't know if you take a gun runner. Certainly low noise, optics, but that third slot is certainly open for a bit of, what's the word? Personal choice, I guess? You could, by the way, you could absolutely rig a colo here. Yeah, exactly what John T says. It's a really good way of thinking about it. You don't need the fast reload when you're dictating the engagement. Yeah. The mobility and the stealth, I feel like, makes the need for a gun ammo not as pertinent. Like, when you're in a heavy tank or something, or a slower medium, and you know you're going to get into situations where you're close to the enemy, and they have a chance to pressure and dictate combat onto you, then I feel like a rammer becomes more valuable from a tactical point of view. When you have other recourses against forced dictation, like mobility, like stealth, like distance, speed, you know? I feel like the rammer is less essential equipment choice. We have spotted this Panzer IV trying to worm his way all the way out over there. So, best of luck to him, I guess? I don't think we'll get spotted for that. Maybe. Oh, we do. Okay. Probably not. Oh, and that's unfortunate. Premium consumable. Wow. Go on, do it. Do it to him. Oh, wow. Okay. I was about to say, before that went down, you could totally rig, in this situation, you could totally rig the Colabanos medal for one of these. Like, you could have picked this guy, ELCX Simp is his name. And you could have made all these guys a one-shot and then went and died. And he still would have won it pretty easily, probably. It would have been fun. I'm not saying you should do that, but I'm saying that you could have done that. And it probably would have worked. Alright, and at this point, it would take a lot of work for them to lose this game. Like, a lot of work. Jamie looks like he knows what he's doing. Getting up in that bush line in the mid. Heading up, seeing if he can get any information. And we've got mid cover as well. Lovely. Gently aiming. No one will need to rush this with 6 minutes left. We pick up the KB1SA. Okay, now you can bum rush this guy if you want to at this point, but again, we got 5 minutes left. Why not just pick up the damage at distance if we can? I'm not sure. It's a triangle. Look. It's a triangle. You see? You have 3 tanks left. Make a triangle. This supports this, supports this, supports this. It makes me very happy to see good, fundamental tactical play. They just play for themselves. Whoa! That blind by the KV1, that's stewarded. Very good work by him. Hey, Chief from Jammy. And let's remember, the KV1 has a base range of 310. So, bless his heart. His name was Ghost Hunter. I mean, yeah, that's probably what it felt like. Ghost Hunter, indeed. He was never going to see these guys. Okay, so surely you give your friend the Hadley Waters here, you would think. Why are they making the ELC look good? Why? Why are they making me want to play the ELC again? Why is there a grill there? Hey, cheap M? Wow, an ELC actually did a drive-by. In 2025, an ELC AMX did a drive-by. My God. I'm so happy. What the... okay. That works too, I guess. Can't, Oh, actually, one more kill from these guys, and it's a crucial. 12 kills in the platoon. Are they gonna let this guy get the 9th? Nah. No medal for 9 kills. Medal for 8 and 10, and 6, of course. And then 14. These guys are certainly decent. Tommy at the start was saying sort of 60%. The lack of merited aggression, I don't know, because here's the thing, like, I'm more inclined when someone is playing alone to judge their gameplay and feel like it's more accurate. When someone's playing in a platoon, like, there's a whole sort of underbelly or a whole thing that I'm not aware of, which is platoon communication. You know, what are they saying? What are they planning? And that does impact the way people play. And not only that, that exchange of information that, oh, there's a guy over here. Oh, look at that. Look at this. Oh, did you see that in the news the other day? You know, it slows down the progression. Like, a player who might normally realize, okay, the 1-2 line is open, that I can push it low. And I can clean up this flank and get position behind the guys in the mid. You realize that's slower often when you're in a platoon because you're talking about other shit and you're shooting the shit with people playing. I want to say, I'm just going to... I don't know. If I judge him based on solely the gameplay and not the context that he was in the platoon and like been shooting the shit with friends, then it would be sort of 57, 58, I feel like. It very good player, decent fundamentals, but didn't push aggressively enough on sort of capitalize early enough on weakness. Could have gained that 1-2 position, destroyed the mid a lot earlier than you did, and maybe saved a couple of hit points on your allied tanks. Because he's in a platoon, I'll assume that he was shooting the shit with friends, and I'll go like 59. Okay, let's see. ELCX Simp Bot. I mean, that account name kind of implies to me that it's a reroll account. If it is a reroll account and we're playing ELC, then it's probably like 66. Some bullshit like that. So, estimate is 59.22 and 20,014. We're thinking if it's a reroll, it's like 66, somewhere around there. No, fuck off. Absolutely not. No, you can fuck right off with that. Okay, fine, I was bitch some gold. Okay, alright, let's do it. G indeed. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. In the description is the link to the next episode and previous episodes of the series. There's a playlist link in there as well. There's also details on how you can submit. Paid submissions are guaranteed to appear in an episode, and all of these episodes are released early for channel members. So if you're interested in seeing all of these early, especially if you submitted one, you can see yours scheduled and have a look. But yeah, click the join button if you're interested in that. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.
Peabody, cheers from Germany, man. Thought I'd hide a couple silly verses, my friend. He is a nice guy like Ned Flanders, but wielding a band hammer that make viewers feel him like a gang member, yeah. You better never ever shoot versus the man, cause that's a jerk of his hand, hence you're a permanent ban, yep. Like in a roleplay game, you wield a dagger but get smashed.